Good afternoon and welcome to our coffee chat, Build Your Own Business. I hope everyone is well. My name is Latara and I'm a senior educator here at Dermalogica, and I am thrilled to be joined by Louise Langley. So excited. Welcome, Louise. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Did you want to just introduce yourself to everyone and share a little bit about your role here at Dermalogica?
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Latara, and thank you for having me. This is such a great group to join, actually. I follow the group and it's such a positive platform. So I really appreciate you inviting me today. So yeah, as you said, my name is Louise Langley. So I'm Head of Partnership Acceleration for the UK and Ireland. And what that means is it's really working with new businesses or businesses that are established that want to partner with us at Dermalogica and use our brand, get absorbed into our education and, offer the home care for retail for our, from our products. So that's effectively what I do. And I'm actually on my 18th year this year, Latara, last week, as of 5 days ago.
Oh, wow. How amazing. 18 years. Oh,
18.
my goodness. Wow. So much experience, so much knowledge that you can share with us today in a snippet of 20 minutes.
I'll do my best. I'll do my best.
So for everyone online today, I hope you are somewhere comfortable and that you have a nice warm drink to hand, or you may have a cold beverage with you today. But we are so excited to be hosting this coffee chat on our undergraduate Facebook page, exclusively for those of you who are part of a Dermalogica college. You also may be either on an apprenticeship, and we've now exclusively shared all of our education and this undergraduate Facebook page with our non-Dermalogica colleges too. So we want to look at supporting all of you who make up this incredible industry. Now, here at Dermalogica, our purpose is to support you as the next generation of professional skin therapists. And we are here to inspire you, help you expand and develop your skills to enable you to be as successful in your role as possible. Now, you may be reaching the end of your studies, you may have just qualified, and you might be thinking, what are my next steps? And in that thought process, you may think to yourself that you want to start your own business. Now, the UK's beauty industry has an estimated market value of around £71 billion a year. And actually, there are quite a few businesses, around 29,400 hair and beauty businesses here in the UK alone. But this industry, I think this industry was one of the sort of sectors that was most heavily impacted by coronavirus measures, and around sort of 7,300 businesses actually have closed in the UK due to COVID-19, which is a staggering amount if we think about it. So with that thought, you may be a little bit unsure or a little bit weary to actually start your business at the moment. Now, industry isn't an industry to start up in lightly. It does come with investment costs. You do have to think about regulations, you have to think about competitors, and of course, all the COVID-19 related measures too. But despite all of those hurdles, actually starting your own business in this industry brings a wealth of benefits. You'll have the opportunity to combine your creativity with entrepreneurialism, to interact with people daily, and also combine your passion for carrying out treatments with hopefully a profitable enterprise. So in today's coffee chat, we are going to look at the benefits of having your own business, share with you some top tips that you need to consider when starting up your own business, and finally speak about any challenges that you may be faced with along the way. So sit back, relax, and absorb all of the information. You may want to grab a notebook or a piece of paper if you're wanting to write any ideas down, but don't worry, this coffee chat is being recorded and it's going to be saved onto our undergraduate Facebook page for you to sort of look back on as well. So, Louise, You work closely with so many successful businesses within the industry. So I do think a good place to start, first of all, is, what are the benefits when it comes to working for yourself and owning your own business?
Yeah, I suppose one of the biggest benefits and probably more obvious benefits is that you're working for yourself. You have complete control. So the book does start with you. It does have its challenges, but really, if you're fully prepared and you know what you're doing, you know what you're going into, then you have absolute autonomy and control. You're paying your own salary. You're not relying on anybody else. So ultimately, I would say is the key benefits. And just think about what you were just saying, Latara, earlier about the stats and COVID. Actually, last year we partnered with 50 new businesses in the year where people, we were in a lot of lockdown. So it was a similar thing when we had a recession back in 2007. We've still got some great businesses that started then that are with us now. So it is possible to grow a new business even in the climate that we're in at the moment.
Yeah, and that's absolutely phenomenal, isn't it? It's so exciting. Even with a pandemic, you can still open your own business, or open a business successfully. And I think that brings us to sort of, that next question of, we know that there's umpteen positives to sort of working for yourself opposed to working for an employer, but thinking about, those startup elements, is it so straightforward to start up your own business? As a qualified therapist, we have that qualification, we have passion. Some of us may have more experience than others, but we have overall that enthusiasm. But Louise, what would you say sort of those next steps are, if you like, or those sort of steps in general to actually start our own business? What do we have to think about?
I think I've seen people do it all sorts of ways over the years. I think the key thing is no matter what size business that you're looking to open, whether you're working for yourself or on your own, whether you're wanting to own, a skin centre and have a few staff or lots of staff, whichever way you look at it, you need to start with research. You have to research your area that you want to have your business in. So who's your catchment, who's your customer demographic, what type of clients. You need to know if there's actually a need or a desire or a want for your business and what you want to achieve within that area. And actually, we're really fortunate now with a lot of the social media that we have, that you can do a lot of that survey research through social media. So through Facebook, there's a lot of community groups. I know there's other apps as well, like Nextdoor, that are community led, that you have the ability to put those questions out to actually get research a lot quicker and a lot faster than we probably had to do years ago. But that's the starting point ultimately, because you could set up a business somewhere and nobody comes, there's no need for it. So you do have to do your due diligence to make sure you've got a need for that business. That's the first thing. Then I guess really to have a strategy in place, and within that strategy is all the key things that you would need to put a business plan together. So whether you are in a need to borrow money or not to borrow money, you should still do that, because that's when you can benchmark what whether you're being successful or not and what you want to achieve. So within that, you're looking at anything from how are you going to gain those clients. So if you're starting from scratch and you don't have a client base already, what are the key things that you're going to do to gain those clients? It might be marketing, PR. What platforms will you do that with? Is it going to be a flyer through the letterbox, or is it going to be social media? Will it be both? Will it be word of mouth? So all these things you have to factor in as to what do you think is going to bring you those clients in the first place. Then, so that's your sort of marketing, PR. You're going to need to choose, who are you? What is your business? What your brand about? What is your vision? So it's having a clear customer experience so that they can see exactly who you are, what you're all about, and that you're not sending loads of mixed messages. So that's important. And all of these things will build in to what your business plan would look like. And I think one of the key tips, I guess, really would be the core four. And what the core four are is gaining clients. So first of all, you've got to gain clients. Then you've gained those clients, you've got to retain those clients. And I've seen it in the past where people have gained them, but the clients haven't come back. Now, that can happen, you know, all the time, but if it's consistently happening, you have to look at yourself and your business to see why. And it could be a number of things. So you always need to do a SWOT analysis on yourself, on your business, as if you're the customer. So that would be a key thing I would always recommend. You know, you'd need to look at finances, look at budgeting. You know, you may be fortunate enough to set up for yourself on your own without needing to borrow any money whatsoever. But if you're looking at a bigger business, then there's the chance then you may need the support from the bank. You would have to put a business plan in place. But there's, you know, that's where we can support. There's lots of online tools to support those sort of things as well. But it's a key thing to put your strategy in place, that you keep revisit it. You know, 1 year in, am I achieving? 2 years in, you should be in a very comfortable place, ideally. And then from that, you're going to grow and grow and grow to 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Where do you want to be?
Wow, do you know what? It's so exciting. I think even just listening, you know, to the actual plan, and I suppose, you know, when you work for yourself and you build that business, when you say like Louise, that you've just said, that when you're in that comfortable position of, you know, 2, 3, 4 years plus down the line, it's so exciting to know when you look back, actually, this is what you've achieved in X amount of time. So all these steps that you've just shared, Louise, would you share that, you know, these are critical, they're crucial steps when it comes to having a successful business?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, even just going back to the core four, what will help with the success is when you've gained those clients, and you've filled your column and you've filled your day, your week, your month, that you're almost at your maximum capacity, unless you can get clever with the services that you're offering. So you do have to have a strong retail offering as well, to be able to increase on your business turnover, your sales. And I think that's, you know, aside from all the other things, I think that's one of the things that I've seen, you know, some people do really well and some people not do so well. And it's separating that out, that retail, because when you've bought that product from a supplier, so you've chosen the brand you want to work with and you've bought that retail product and you've bought it at trade cost, you're then going to sell the product at potentially recommended retail price. You'll gain a profit on that. So you're not only getting back what you've spent on that product already, what you paid the supplier for, you're getting a profit on that as well. That should be going back into its own separate pot, so that you're constantly replenishing the stock that you've sold. But also, you know, good stock control and rotation means that you're analysing what is selling through quicker and faster. What do I need to hold more stock of? So that money needs to be ploughed straight back into that, because the more you do that, the more that you'll grow your business. And what I've seen over the years is people will put that elsewhere in the business, or they might go on holiday with it. So it's that type of thing that you have to be quite strict and quite rigid, and know that if you've made that in retail, it should go back into retail to purchase more product to sell.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point, isn't it? Because like you said, you can see this extra cash and you think, yes, I've made a profit, boom, I'm going to do something else with that. But actually investing it back into that retail side is going to be sort of crucial, if you like, for those next steps of you, I think, progressing, isn't it, in that sort of sector as well. So great, some great sort of top tips to think about. And I think, you know, in this industry, there's so much creativity. I think in our heads have a vision of where we want to be. We have that dream of whether it be in big, whether it be in small, but running our own business. And I think long term, we do have that aspiration to do well and be successful, don't we? But I think sometimes owning your own business isn't always a smooth ride, is it, Louise? I think we may be faced with some sort of challenges along the way. So when you've been out to businesses that you look after, Louise, what would you say sort of the common challenges are when it comes to owning or running your own business? What have you seen out in industry?
Yeah, I think all the opposites of what I just said that you need to do to plan effectively. But then I guess depending on the size of the business. So if we think of a smaller business, often it's been that you're working on your own. So you are that one person. So you may be renting a room somewhere that's in a different business style. So you are that only professional skin therapist in that business. So it can be quite isolating if you're not putting yourself in a position to network with other like-minded business owners, but also with other businesses in general. So you will, it's important that you're not just keeping yourself to yourself, because that actually, you've got to have a lot of determination, a lot of motivation to be able to make your business grow. Because as we said at the beginning, the buck stops with you. You're the only person that can do that. And so I've seen some people be extremely successful from the offset, completely know exactly what they're doing. I've seen others struggle. And so, and that's not unusual, but when you start networking and sharing with other people, that's when you can start overcoming those challenges. Then when you've got a bigger business, it's a completely different kettle of fish, because then you're talking about staffing. You've got to get the right staff on board. Once you've got the right staff on board, is how do you keep your team motivated to actually support you and be part of your business. So it's giving them full visibility in a lot of ways, and I think that's where it can be quite challenging. If the team aren't behind you and they just see it as a job, that's when it's quite hard. So when it's the bigger businesses, you've got challenges from staffing, but also employee law. Even with an employed person or a self-employed person, everybody's got their rights. So it's keeping on top of all of that. It's insurance. Each council's different depending on insurance as to what you need to insure. So it's a whole bigger ball game. You're in a leadership, so you're not just self-motivating yourself, you're leading yourself and your team to be able to get to where you need to be successful.
Yeah,
absolutely. And actually a big challenge there, Latara, sorry, is keeping your own mental health in check, especially when you have, so that you can see from both sides there with what I've just said, if you're working on your own, but also if you have a team, because you've got them as well, and it's their mental health, and that can be quite tough. So it's finding ways to keep yourself, I guess, balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I completely agree. And I think, we were talking before this, coffee chat, and thinking about ways to network if you are on your own. This page, the undergraduate Facebook page, is going to be a fantastic starting point, isn't it, Louise, to throw ideas out to one another. We've got over 1,000 members on this page, so throw ideas out to each other. Not a question that you ask isn't a silly question. And also that education that we provide here at Dermalogica, I think, is a great stepping stone when you're on class with people, whether it be virtually, whether it be in person, when we start to offer in-person training again. It's always an opportunity to build rapport, isn't it? Especially if you are on your own. And I've been on class before, and so many people just throw ideas. And I think if we sort of summarize what we've spoken about today, Louise, it's all about initially that planning, that networking, financials, thinking about the regulations as such, insurances, councils, and it's bringing all of that into play. But I think ultimately, when we have all of that, like you shared, Louise, it's retaining that customer, retaining those clients, isn't it? And I think they are going to be your, what's the word? I don't know the word to describe, but they are going to sort of future-proof your business, aren't they? Keep getting your clients coming back to you.
Absolutely. And also, even just from the team, the sort of business, the business consultants, the team that support, whether it's us as a brand that people choose to take on with another brand, but ultimately that's what we're here to do. That's what I started at Dermalogica doing. I was a business development consultant, and it's really to help with those ideas, to help with our partners networking with each other. And so there's lots of things that we do as a brand, I guess, to support that. So it's that sort of thing you want to look out for when you're choosing your supplier as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, well, I could speak about this, I think, all day, but I feel like we have to finish it at some point. So I just want to say a massive thank you, Louise, for sharing all of that information. I think there is definitely a lot to consider when starting and running your own business. But I do think if you have that drive, if you have that planning and understanding of the bigger picture, then you do set yourself and the business up to reap in that benefit and be successful. So that nearly brings us to the end of our coffee chat. I do hope by exploring these topics today, you do feel a lot more confident and prepared as you step out into the industry. And if you are thinking about starting your own business, we hope this has given you some things to actually consider as such. Now, before we head off, I just wanted to share something very exciting that we have coming in September. So we do have 4 brand new Career Next Steps e-learning modules, which will further support you. The e-learning modules will include sort of a deeper look at some of the topics that we have discussed today and previously, but the 4 20-minute e-learning modules will expand on things like career mapping, looking at your skills, so identifying those skills that you already have and what you need to build on. Getting ready for interview, and also a sort of next step of opening your own business. So do look out for those coming in September, something very, very exciting. Don't forget, if you have completed your Aspire Awards, you can get yourself booked onto the next Enhanced Employability series, which is running in August, so August the 10th. I'll pop the link into the chat so you can it can direct you straight to the booking page so you don't miss out on that. And I just wanted to share, please continue to post any successes or challenges that you may come across after this session in the undergraduate Facebook page. You know, you can bounce ideas from one another that are in similar positions as you and share your experiences. And as Louise shared, this page here, this undergraduate Facebook page, is a perfect opportunity for you to start with those networking experiences. So like I said at the start, this coffee chat will be saved on the undergraduate Facebook page. So if you do want to revisit this again, then you can do. But that is it from us. We wish you every success as you continue your exciting journey. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Take care, and we hope to reconnect with you all again very, very soon. So thanks everyone.
Bye everyone, thank you.